This will take this Redshift will take later. Okay, the everything was fine. There was no problem while transferring the data. The only mistake what we did is, so instead of executing this query, you can see the screen, no, participants?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, instead of executing this query in other query editor, we executed in the same editor. Hold on. So this was the last session, no? The last session we practiced this one, right? Query one. Here we executed all the queries, right? We created table, we executed queries here, right? Participants. Participants.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We in a single page we did everything. But if you want to execute this query, select etc., you have to go to next page. You see here, query one, query two, query three, query four. So go to the fresh new page, paste it over here. Next, run the query. Next, run the query. Hold on. Still, I think 9 participants. We'll wait for 2 more minutes. Then we'll start the session. I don't know how much time it will take. Let me show you. This is what I executed yesterday. Query 2. Have a look on this. I executed in the new tab. Query 2. Okay, so when you run this, so it's loading the data. Can you see here, participants? Hold on. I can see 11 participants. We'll wait till this query get executed, then we'll start the new session. Anuraga, okay, 12 participants. Okay, can you see the query got executed now? Anuraga, hold on. Silesh, okay. Now you can see the query got executed and this is the data. Fine. Participants. Participants. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
now the query got executed. Okay, and this is the data what is available in that data set. The only thing is, okay, while executing this, the queries like select query. If you want to drop the query, if any new queries are there, means you keep on adding new templates here. Okay, query one, query two, query three, query four. Here in query one, in the last session, what we did, everything we executed in the same the tab here. Okay, that was a problem, like the problem what we was facing, okay, in the last session. So you can try this in your next assignments. Okay, uh, so we'll come to this one afterwards. Okay, uh, Redshift, regarding of the Redshift, this is going to be an assignment also because this is very important. as far as data storage and management is concerned. Okay, so in today's session, we are going to have a new type topic, and one of the prominent feature which is offered by our Amazon Web Services. Okay, I hope, can we start the session, participants? Participants, can we
Yes,
start?
sir.
Yeah, okay, we'll start the session. Okay. In today's, in day 10 session, we are going to have uh, the concept like snapshot and AMI. Next, the most important prominent feature which is provided by the Amazon is auto scaling and load balancing. In the same way, if time permits, we will try to discuss about CLI also, command line interface. Okay. Uh, you might have experienced Netflix. You take YouTube also. Okay. How many videos are day by day we are uploading? Not only uploading, okay, how many people are visiting that site, and they are downloading, they used to watch different the videos. Okay, it doesn't matter whether it is a Netflix or YouTube. Okay, but still we have one thing what we have experienced. Okay, how many number of visitors comes in? Okay, there will be no difference in, okay, there will be no compromise in the performance. Performance remains still the same. Okay, that makes us to visit the sites again and again. Okay, you take the Netflix was facing some lot of problem in the case of the performance when the number of visitors are increasing. Okay, it was affecting the performance of this of their platform. So later on they approached Amazon. Okay, and they implemented the concept of auto scaling and load balancing system. After that, okay, they started earning in billions now. Okay, so Netflix is one of the major the client of Amazon Web Services, and the all the services like related to the Netflix is offered by the Amazon. We'll try to discuss how to design such type of how to increase the keep how to keep the performance of the website as same, okay, without disturbing the rest of the other services. Okay, so but before discussing about what exactly the auto scaling and load balancing is, it's very important us to understand the two things, the two concepts. One is called snapshots, and another is called AMI. AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image. Okay, so now what generally I will do, let's say, imagine this is a simple example what I have taken. Imagine this is your website, say YouTube. Okay, or else you can take XYZ website. Okay, now this website is having some certain capacity in the sense the service provider will give you, okay, so this much amount of space, okay, and we will give you this much amount of CPU. If it exceed, okay, that amount of space as well as the CPU, okay, so the performance drastically of the your system will decreases, obviously. Now the use scenario is like that. You have one website, and this website contains around 10 GB of memory and 2 GB of the RAM. Now, if number of visitors, let us say first day, okay, around 50 visitors visited your site. Okay, there will be no difference in the performance of the site. In the again, when the publicity of your website increased, okay, let us say every minute 50 to 60 people are visiting, means every minute 60 to 50 to 60 people are visiting, means obviously, okay, there will be the the users are coming in terms of thousands or 10,000s. Okay, so number of visitors are increasing day by day. In that case, what happened, drastically the performance of your website decreases. Got a point? When the performance of the website is decreasing, the user will not prefer to visit your site. Okay, suppose let's say it is an online system, online sales system. If the performance is not visiting, okay, the people or the user will hesitate to share their the payment information, or else I can say okay, they will hesitate to visit the websites. So that's the reason, okay, in order to maintain or keep the performance of the system as same, doesn't matter how many number of users, how many users are visiting to your site. Okay, so the Amazon implemented one new concept called auto scaling. So this is the same thing what just now what I have explained. Okay, so let us say your website, a number of users are visiting, number of users are increasing day by day. So in that case, what happens, since the memory is fixed here and the CPU what you have purchased is fixed here, so we cannot increase the memory as well as the performance here. So obviously, okay, there will be a problem. The performance obviously decreases here. So that's the reason, in order to keep the performance same, okay, with respect to the number of users, doesn't matter how many number of users are visiting to your website. Okay, we implemented the concept of called auto scaling. Auto scaling is nothing but here, okay, it's just creating the mirror copy of your server. Let's say, hope you are clear, participants, hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
You are getting concept, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is very important point here. Let us say uh, this is your site. Okay, it's the site, let's say website. Okay, now when the number of users are increasing here, okay, so what I will do, I will create the mirror copy of this server. Okay, mirror copy of this server. Now in this case, what I have done, I have created two mirror copy. Let's say this is first mirror copy and this is the second mirror copy here, understood, of the same server. Now what I will do, after creating the mirror copy of the same server, next I will distribute the load in between these three server. Suppose, let us say, for a simple example I will give, let us say, okay, around 60 visitors are using per minute to your site. So what happened in before, in the legacy old system, what was happening, 60 users was visiting to your same server here. But with the moment when we implemented auto scaling, what happens, that 60 servers, 60 users have divided into three servers. Let's say 20 users will be handled by this server, 20 handled by this server, 20 handled by this server. This concept is called auto scaling. Understood? This is simple example I have taken. So next, in the same way, what happens, there are many scenarios here. Okay, many possibilities where we can play along with the auto scaling system here. Similarly, let's say after some time we found that, okay, the number of users are decreasing. Say 60, from 60 it has decreased to 40. So what I will do, since it has decreased to 40, now what I will do, I will delete one mirror copy of the server here. Okay, I will delete one mirror copy of the server. Now I'll be having only two servers here, 192, 40 visitors are visiting, 40 users are visiting our server. So obviously 20 I will distribute it to one server, 20 I will distribute to the another server. Participants, clear? Participants?
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
No, this is, see, if you are planning your career in cloud industry, this is one of the fundamental things. If you don't know how to auto scale, better you don't enter into the cloud industry. Okay, so very important concept. Listen, try to understand. If you have any doubt, please ask. Okay, so let's dive into hands-on session. But before that, before heading towards hands-on session, I was discussing about snapshots, snapshot and AMI. Okay, so snapshot is nothing but it is the mirror copy of your EC2 instance. It can be anything, or it can be a mirror copy of Windows server, or it can be a mirror copy of your Ubuntu server. Okay, but once the snapshot, next after taking the snapshot, next we will be converting that one into AMI. Okay, AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image. Now the difference between snapshot and AMI is, okay, this snapshot is not a bootable device. Okay, we cannot boot. It's just a mirror copy. That's it. Okay, we just keep the mirror copy. When something went wrong in the main server, okay, just to deploy that mirror copy in the main server. That's it. But snapshot we cannot execute. But after creating the mirror copy, which will allow us to create one more mirror copy of your actual server. Let us say EC2 instance. Okay, and I want to create one more EC2 instance. Okay, EC2 instance for the auto scaling system. So what I will do before creating the mirror copy of EC2 instance, okay, first I will create mirror copy using snapshot, okay, which is not bootable device. So next what I will do, from that snapshot, I will try to create one more mirror copy of your EC2 instance, okay, which is again a bootable device. Okay, so bootable, the server, that is called EMI. The major difference here between this snapshot and EMI is snapshot is a mirror copy of EC2 instance, okay, which is not bootable. Okay, but okay, now next EMI is the mirror copy of EC2 instance, which is bootable. But to create EMI, first we need to create a snapshots. Hope you are cleared. Okay, so this is the theory what they have given. Okay, hope you are clear exactly what is snapshot and what is EMI. Any doubt, participants? 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 Participants?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
Sir, in auto scaling, sir,
Okay.
if the number of users get reduced, like who is going to reduce the server
Servers.
copy, sir?
Exactly. If the number of users are reducing, okay, automatically the auto scale system will reduce the number of servers also. As I told you, let's say 60 users are there. Okay, so next after some time, 60 users got reduced it to 40 users. So what happened? From 3, what I will do, I'll reduce the servers to 2. Cleared?
Yes, sir.
Okay, in the same way, let us say 60 we had, 60 users was visiting the site. Now from 60, after some time, it has increased to 80. What need to do now?
Extra one, sir.
Extra work, extra server we need to add. Okay, that will be done by auto scaling. But before auto scaling, first we need to create what? The mirror image of your server. Okay, and in this also there are two stages, snapshot and EMI. Snapshot is just a mirror copy which is not bootable. EMI is a mirror copy of your EC2 instance which is bootable. But to create EMI, first we need to create a snapshot. Cleared? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
cleared now. Now let's go to hands-on session. You will understand there, okay, how to create it. Okay, so I hope you can see the screen now. Okay, hope you can see the screen here, right? Hello?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yeah, you can see the screen. So next what I will do, you know very well how to create the instance. Let us imagine that yesterday, I'll just give the demo first. Yesterday, I created one auto scale system for my Ubuntu One server. This is an Ubuntu One server, okay, which is my actual server. This is a mirror copy of Ubuntu One mirror copy. That is nothing but the EMI here. Okay, so I will first let me show you what I have done after creating Ubuntu server using EC2. Okay, I have uploaded my Apache server. Okay, so this is completely for Apache server for the web development purpose. You can see here. Hold on. This is the IP address. Let me copy this IP address and I'll run this copy address here on my web. And now you can see the Apache server. This is the main dashboard of Apache server. No, participants. Main dashboard of the Apache server. So now you can see here. Similarly, what I have done, I have created the mirror copy of this EC2. Okay, in the name of Ubuntu One mirror. Now what I will do, I'll just select this. Let me select this. Okay, and let me try to run the same thing. Okay, this is the IPv4 address of public address of the mirror copy of Ubuntu One server. Let me run this in my web server. So same machine, but the mirror copy. Okay, so this is Apache One public 171 public IP4 IP address. This is the same server Okay, but the mirror copy of this actual server. Okay, 171, can you see the difference here? 171 IP address. Okay, 161 IP address. Okay, this is how. Now what I will do, if 40 users are visiting, so what I will do, I will redirect 20 users to this IP address and 20 users to this IP address automatically. Okay, this is we are going to design here. Let's dive into, let's start from the initial, from the beginning itself. You will understand, okay, how to create it. First stage is to design, install our EC2 instance. And now you know, okay, how to install EC2 instance, right? Yes or no, participants?
Yes, sir.
You know, I don't want to repeat the same thing here again. What I will do, already I have one more EC2 instance, so I will activate that EC2 instance, and the name of that EC2 instance is Ubuntu 2, which is my actual server. Okay, which is my actual server. So after initializing the Ubuntu 2 server, we need to install the Apache server. Okay, so hold on a second. Now the EC2 server is, I'm preparing the EC2 server. It takes little time, okay, to get activated. So in the next, after initializing, yeah, now the system is initializing my EC2 server. After initializing, we'll try to install the Apache server. So let me connect this Ubuntu first using PuTTY. Using PuTTY. Okay, and my IP addresses. So this is the IP address. Copy the IP address. Hold on. Okay, next go to SSH auth browse. Okay, AWS open it. Hello participants, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next is you know the configuration, how to do the configuration. Ubuntu. Okay, so Ubuntu, it has configured. Now you can see my private IP address here, 187. Let me clear this first before installing Apache. Okay, take the privilege of super user, nothing but the root. Okay, to take the privilege of super user, what I will do, sudo su. Now I am in the main root. Now you can you see here, I am in the main root where I can execute all the commands easily. Okay, so you can do this one for your previous EFS example assignments also. Now to install Apache. Okay, first we need to install all the packages which are required to install the Apache in Ubuntu 18.04. Okay, to get install all the packages, okay, run the command like, but before that I think it's better to update my machine. So to update machine, apt get update. Now I will not use sudo because already I'm in super user, which is nothing but the root here. Apt get apt hyphen get install. Okay, so my server is already updated. Now I have to install all the packages which are required to run my Apache server. Okay, so run type sudo, okay, or else you can skip sudo, add hyphen ppt, okay, hyphen repository, okay, ppa colon, okay, on range hyphen Apache 2. So this is the exact location where the packages are available in the Apache site. Apache 2. Let me run this. Now command repository. Let me check here 1 second. Yeah, repository. So this is the command. Go to your instance. Just run this. Okay, a repository sudo add apt repository, run this one. So now it start getting installed. Participant, can you see? No, you can see, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just enter it, enter. So it started downloading all the packages which are required for my Apache server. Okay, so next clear this. So now update your machine, because already I have the install now the Apache, the packages which are required for the Apache. Sudo next apt update. Okay, so now again I'm updating my machine, updation over. Now next I need to install, no, now I need to install my Apache. Okay, to install Apache, just write sudo, just type sudo apt get install Apache, install Apache. Okay, Apache 2 space -y for the installation. So now Apache is getting installed. Hold on, it's taking time. Now I'm installing the Apache on my server. Okay, so now successfully I have installed my Apache server now. Now I have to verify whether the Apache server is installed on my Ubuntu server or not. So just to verify, type sudo Apache 2. Okay, Apache 2 CTL. Okay, CTL -v. Okay, so now you can see, right, participant, you can see, no? So this indicates server version Apache 2.4.43 Ubuntu is installed now. Fine. So now my Apache server is installed on my machine. Okay, and for the testing purpose, what you can do is, okay, so you can run the command like sudo service Apache 2 status. Okay, it's just for that testing purpose. So you can check whether the system is up or not. So this indicates that, okay, so you can see here my Apache server is active now, it is running now. Fine. So let me minimize this and we'll see whether I can access my Apache from the main screen or not. Now see here, this is my actual machine now, Ubuntu 2. Okay, so which is where I have installed my Apache server. So next what I will do, I'll go to this IP address of the Ubuntu 2 server. Okay, so just copy this and paste it over here. Hold on. Now you can see, okay, Apache server is installed now. Okay, so because of the Apache server, now we are getting this, and all your files will be located here. Okay, suppose if I want to say hello, I want to create hello messages. So all those default file will be saved here. Now our agenda is to implement auto scaling system. Okay, I want to create the mirror copy of this actual server. Okay, and next I want to distribute. Okay, so I have to balance the load, okay, in the server. Now next to do that, first what we need to do is, okay, so before creating the auto scaling system, what we need to do is, okay, we have to create AMI instance. Okay, AMI stands for Amazon Machine
Images.
Amazon Machine Images. Okay, so first we need to create the AMI instance. Okay, to create the AMI instance, okay, what you have to do is active this. Now I'm going to create the AMI instance for Ubuntu 2 now. Okay, so select this, go to actions. So under actions, okay, there is an option called image. Can you see, participants? There is an option called image. Okay, so under image, create image. It's very simple. Okay, so under image, create image. Now this is the instance ID. Okay, we'll discuss about instance ID later on. Okay, so next is go to give the image name. See here, already I have created one image, so I don't want to confuse Ubuntu 1 and Ubuntu 2. So what I will do for Ubuntu 2 instance, I'll give the name of the AMI user be Ubuntu 2. Ubuntu 2 image I will give. Fine. Or else I'll give AMI image. AMI I'll give. Fine. So next, if you want, you can put the descriptions here. Okay. So there is no restriction. And this is the root actually. Okay. So where I can access this image copy of my Ubuntu 2 actual server. Okay. So this is the space. If you want to add more and more space, you can add more space also. Okay. So next, okay, create an AMI agent. It's very simple. Okay. So now image got created. Participant, can you see? Image got created now. Now next is, okay, so one thing what we have to know, what I have noticed here. Okay, already I have created the image, but it is not showing in the front screen here. That AMI is, it's not showing here. Okay, either it is not showing, it is getting prepared. Okay, so to check, okay, all the AMIs, the mirror copy of our actual server. So you need to go to the images. Under in the left corner there is an option called images. Under images there is an option called AMI. Okay, click on AMI. Click on AMI. Now you can see here I have created two images. One was for Ubuntu 1. This was one Ubuntu 1 which is available. Again Ubuntu 2 which is I am preparing here. Okay. So next is, after creating an EMA, now we need to configure our auto scaling properties. Okay. So we need to configure auto scaling properties. Participants, any doubts so far? Participants? Participants?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, right? Okay. Now we need to configure auto scaling properties here after creating an IMA image. Hold on. Let that get prepared. Hold on. Okay, it's getting prepared. Now Ubuntu 2 image is ready now. Understood? Now this image, it's like, yeah, image. This is a bootable image, but I cannot use this one to configure to this Apache server. Understood? So to configure this one, the image, AMI image to the Apache server, we need to configure first. Okay, we need to launch the configuration. Okay, so to launch the configuration, our next stage will be, okay, there is an option here called auto scaling on the left corner. In the second state, what we have to do is go to auto scaling. Under auto scaling, there are two options here: launch configuration and auto scaling a group. Okay, so now launch configuration. As far as launch configuration is concerned, okay, so it will gives an the options. What type of auto scaling you want to configure? Whether your auto scaling is only for the data, or it is the auto scaling is only for the machine. Hope you are cleared. Okay, so let us say if it is for data, suppose let us say you have a website and whose capacity is 100 GB. Understood? Now if the 100 GB is exceeding, so obviously the performance will decrease. So in that case, what I can do is I can configure my auto scaling for my data. Understood? For data 100 GB, 120 GB, 140 GB based upon the users. In the same way, it is also possible to auto scale your machine also. Let us say a CPU, you have 4 GB of CPU. Okay, now I want to increase that CPU to 6 GB, 7 GB, understood, based upon the user. So we can configure our auto EMI to CPUs also. Okay, so this is the difference. This gives in two options here. First, after creating an EMI, go to launch configuration. Hit on launch configuration, but make sure that, okay, all your AMIs are available, okay, before configuring the launch instance. Hold on a second, it's taking time. Huh? Okay, create launch configuration. So already I had created one launch configuration for the Ubuntu server. So what I will do, firstly, I will create one more launch configuration for my EMI. So hit on, let me check here actions. So I cannot perform any actions here because it's disabled. So what I will do, I'll hit on create launch configuration. Hit on launch configuration. This is very important part of the auto scaling system. First, we have to give the name for our launch configuration. Okay, give the name for the launch configuration. Let's say, just to avoid the confusion, what I will do, I'll give the launch configuration name be Ubuntu 2. Okay, Ubuntu 2 hyphen launch configuration. Launch config. Fine. Launch config. Now next AMI, it will ask for AMI Amazon machine image. Since I have how many machine image here now? Participants? How many machine? 2, right? We have 2 machine image. Okay, so that you can see here Ubuntu 1 machine image and Ubuntu 2 machine image. Just now what we created. Along with this one, Amazon will give, you can create the other machine image also, which is predefined here. Okay, so for the time being, we don't want this machine image. So we want the machine image of our EC2 instance. Okay, where my Apache is configured. So I will type on Ubuntu 2 EMI. Select EMI. Okay, so now next instance type, it will ask for the instance type. Okay, so as far as instance type is concerned, so click on here, choose the instance type. Okay, so nothing but here the configuration. Okay, so what type of instance type you want? Okay, so it starts for if you want A1 medium, next large, X large. So these are the CPUs and these are the memories. So now what I will do, I will keep the instance type as same as my EC2 instance, which is T2 micro, right? Participants? Free tier architecture, free tier. T2 micro I will keep. T2, you can see T2 micro here, which is nothing but my T2 micro, T2 nano, T2 micro. This is T3 micro, T2 micro, T2 micro, CPU 1 GB and memory is 1 GB. So I'll keep the same thing. Okay, select this. After selecting, choose it. Okay, so already we have chosen now. Okay, so next is this is going to be an optional one. Okay, so optional request spot instances. So we don't want request to spot in instances now, but most important, I want to monitor this EC2 instance. Okay, enable EC2 instance detail monitoring with the CloudWatch. Using the CloudWatch, I want to monitor whether it is going to charge us heavily or not. Okay, but EMI's auto scaling will charge not heavily, but it's better to enable that CloudWatch for the monitoring purposes. Okay, so next is advanced. Let's go to advanced now. Under advanced, I'll keep everything default. Okay, don't don't modify anything in the beginning stages. Later on, once you are flexible with auto scale, you can do the modification based upon your based upon the requirement of the companies. By default, I'll keep the space as it is, which is SSD. Okay, by default, which is an 8 GB. Now next, most important, creating the security group. Okay, participants, interns.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is very important stage, security group. Here, as far as security group is concerned, I recommend you to create a new security group for the auto scaling system. Okay, because if you're choosing default, if something went wrong in auto scaling while scaling up and scaling down, okay, so the everything you need to restart everything. The entire Amazon console you have to restart freshly. Okay, that you cannot do it. So you need to approach AWS Service Center. Okay, so what I will do, I will create a new security group here. Okay, so create a new security group. Let's say the security group B for my Ubuntu 2 server is auto scaling security group 2. Okay, so this is the description. Most important here is what we need to do is, okay, under the rules, hold on. Okay, under the rules, I have SSH, right? Participants, can you see? I have SSH here. Okay, but Apache server means web-based, right? So to access web-based contents, okay, I need to add one more rules called HTTP. So I will add a HTTP here by hitting on add new. Okay, so next, okay, click on HTTP. You will get HTTP here. All TCP/IP, traffic, SSH. Next we have HTTP. Click on HTTP. So TCP/IP. Next port number is 80, and you can access. I want to access this one from anywhere from the world. Next is, okay, key pair. Regarding about the key pair, hold on. Okay, so give the key pair here. Okay, login key pair. Key pair, you know very well, while installing the EC2, we create the key pair, no? So I will choose the same key pair here, choose an existing key pair, or else I can create a new key pair. Okay, so I will choose a new existing key pair. Okay, existing key pair location. It will ask, oh, which existing key pair. So already I have created the key pair with the name of internship. So I'll use the same internship key pair here. Select it and acknowledge it. Okay, now next, create a launch configuration. Create launch configuration. So this again will take little time. Hold on. Now, can you see, participants? I have how many launch configuration here? How many configuration? Hold on. Participants. Two, right? Okay, one was previous and the another one just now what I have created for Ubuntu 2 server. Hold on. Okay, so next is, so after launching the configuration, next comes, okay, auto scaling. Okay, so creating the auto scaling group here. Okay, so to create the auto scaling group, hold on a second, please. Okay, to create an auto scaling group, yeah, after launch configuration, next stage is to create an auto scaling group. To create an auto scaling group, what I will do, select this new freshly created launch configuration, select this. Next, you can check all the properties here. Security group is this one. By default, I have taken the newly created security group. Okay, all those things, what I have so configured so far, you can check the details here. Now, next, what you need to do is, hold on. Okay, what you need to do is select that freshly created launch configuration, go to actions. Here, there is an option called create auto scaling. Okay, same thing, auto scaling group, create auto scaling. Okay, so hit on auto scaling. Okay, hit on auto scaling. Again, it will take you to the new dashboard where exactly where we are going to have the auto scaling system. Now next, give the name for the auto scaling. Okay, so let us say the name for the auto scaling is Ubuntu 2. Okay, auto scale group name. Auto scale group name, just to avoid the confusion. Okay, I'm taking bit lengthy names. Okay, so next, launch configuration. As far as launch configuration is concerned, okay, you can select here launch Ubuntu 2 configuration, Ubuntu auto scaling group. Okay, so I will choose this one because recently in launch configuration, recently created for Ubuntu 2 launch configuration is in the name of Ubuntu 2 launch configuration. Okay, select that second one. Next, hit on next. Okay, hope you are clear, participant. If you have any doubt, please ask. Most important, next, creating the VPC. Okay, so to create the VPC, what we need to do here is, okay, don't create, as far as VPC is concerned, it is better to keep the default VPC. Okay, if you want to create a new VPC, again, it will be an lengthy work. Okay, it will be a lengthy work. You need to create a new VPC system. You have to configure your subnet marks. Okay, subnet IP addresses. Next, again, that those subnet IP addresses you need to configure in the auto scaling system. So for the instance of time, I'll take the default VPC here. Okay, even if after creating, if you are configuring your own VPC, again that option will come here. Next, most important here is regarding about the subnet mask, subnet IP address. You need to choose at least two subnet IP addresses. Okay, so for the instance of time, I will choose South A1 as well as South A2. This is very important step. You need to choose a minimum two subnet IP addresses here. Now next is, after that, okay, just hit on next. Hit on next. Enable load balancing. Yes, I want to, this is going to be an optional. I'll come to this one, load balancing, later after creating the auto scaling system. Now next, EC2, by default it will take. Okay, so now health check grace period. Every 30 seconds I want to check the health of my auto scaling. Okay, so auto scaling, whether it is working properly or not. Even you can reduce this time also, so that means 300 means it is going to, every 5 minutes it is going to check the health of my auto scale system. The next is click on next. I'll keep this one default. Okay, this is also additional setting. I'll keep this one as default now, right now. Hit on next. Okay, so after that, desired capacity. Okay, I'm going to have only one now. Minimum capacity 1, maximum capacity 1. Okay, so here what happens? I have actual EC2 server 1, and I'm going to create only one server for the demonstration purpose. So you can, by default, we can have 3, 4, etc., etc. Understood? So that manually we can configure here. If you are not configuring here, means by default, the machine itself will choose how many configuration we need here. Now next, this is an optional one. Okay, choose whether to use a scaling policy to dynamically resize your auto scaling group to meet changes in the demand. None, I don't want this. I'll come to this later in the load balancing. Okay, there are 3 types of scaling policies. Okay, that classic policy, application policy, and network policy. That there we will discuss. I'm going to configure there this load balancing. Next is enable instant scale in the protection. Okay, though regarding of this is again an optional security, which asks about the security. Okay, so VPC by default we are using. Okay, so I'll keep this one as blank now. Hit on next. Okay, now next, add notification. You want any notification? Okay, so by SNS, whether you want to send any email, already my email is configured and verified in SNS, so you can send the email also. Okay, so next is next. Here the tag comes, the tag. So no, I don't want to add any tag here. Hit on next. Next, group details. Okay, so Ubuntu auto scale group name. This is the group name. Okay, so next, network. When it comes to network, see, VPC by default I have chosen. These are the 2 subnet marks. Just review this. Load balancing, disable. We will configure in the load balancer. Okay, so next is all, just review this one. Next, create auto scale group. Create auto scale group. Okay, so now my auto scale group got created in the name of Ubuntu 2 auto scaling. Okay, so hold on a second. Now it is updating. Okay, updating our auto scale system. Auto scale system. Instance 0 it's showing. Hold on. It was, yeah, you can see here Ubuntu 2 auto scale group name created successfully. Now next, any doubt participants? Interns? 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 Please reply, interns.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
You have any doubt? A bit confusing, no? Hello? Hello, participant. Please reflex you. Please reflex you. If you have any doubt, please ask. Participants? No doubt? Participants? No problem, because uh, for me assignments are important. Okay, if you are completing assignments, well and fine. We feel like our people will feel like, yeah, you have learned something from our, along with us. Otherwise, we feel like, yeah, you just wasted your time. Anyways, uh, this is the auto scaling group just now what I have created, which is nothing but the mirror copy of my Ubuntu 2 a server. Now let's go to the main dashboard now, EC2 instance. Okay, let me go to the main dashboard. Now I can see, I hope I can see that auto scaling mirror copy of my EC2 server. Mirror copy, hold on. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so this is the main dashboard. Let me hover over to my main console, EC2 console. Let me check the instances. Okay. Yes. Can you see participants? Interns? Interns? Interns?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you see the, which is, can anyone tell me which is my mirror copy here?
With the blank one.
With the blank one is the mirror copy of my Ubuntu 2, right? Okay, so this is the mirror copy of my Ubuntu 2. Okay, let me check first. Okay, so let's say already I have installed Apache server in this Ubuntu 2. Okay, hold on a second. Let me copy this from public IP. Let me run this. Okay, execute it. Yes, this is the Apache main dashboard of the Apache. Similarly, let's go to the next mirror copy of Ubuntu 2, which is this one. Let me write here Ubuntu 2 mirror copy. Ubuntu 2 mirror copy. Fine. Hit on right, correct. Next, let me select this. So AWS will give a separate public IP address for this instance. Hold on. Yeah, this is the public IP address. Let me select this. Next is go to browser and paste it. Paste it. Can you see participants? Participants? Interns?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can see, so this is my actual server, and this is my mirror copy of that server. Now two server I have created. Understood? Now it is also linked. Mirror copy of the server is linked with, okay, my actual server. Hold on. Okay, so this Ubuntu 2 mirror copy is now linked with Ubuntu 2 actual server here. Now next comes, okay, here what happens, this will distribute the load equally. Say 40 users are there, 40 users are visiting your site. Okay, 40 users are visiting your site. Let us say I have created now I have two servers. So next what happened, 20 will be given to one server, 20 will be given to this server. Okay, so now there will be no auto scaling here. Auto scaling means how the number of the users are increasing. Okay, in the same fashion we need to increase the server here, or we need to balance the load. Okay, so to do that, okay, we need to configure one more concept called load balancer. We need one more called this will act like a proxy between your the user as well as the server, called the load balancer. Okay, a load balancer is a device that acts as a reverse proxy and distribute network or application traffic across a number of servers. Load balancer are used to increase capacity and reliability of the applications. Let's say this. Okay, so take this same example. Let us say 60 users. Okay, so 60 user. Next, what I will do, this 60 users load I have to distribute now. Distribute among these three servers. Server 1, server 2, server 3. So to distribute the load of these 60 users, I'll be using load balancer here. Okay, simple concept is very simple. Just for the distribution purpose, we will be using it. Now, what happens in our this freshly created the server is the load will not be equally distributed here. Okay, 40 means 20 based upon the capacity. There are many things manually. Let's say the CPU in one server CPU there are more CPUs, in other server there are less CPU. Again we are equally distributing means again it will be a load for the CPU, the system which is having the less CPU. Understood? So that equally we need to distribute. So that's the reason we use a load balancing system here. Next is as far as load balancing systems are concerned, there are two types. But yesterday while I was practicing, Amazon has added one more. Okay, the load balancer. First is called classic load balancer. Another is called application load balancer. There is one more called network load balancer. Okay, in classic load balancer, what happens? Formal, it's very simple traffic here. Let us say this is the user. Okay, user wants to visit your site. Okay, and site is having, let us say, 4 server now. So what happened? The moment when user started visiting, that will be given to, that information will be, data will be given to load balancer, and the load balancer equally distribute here. Okay, so let us say 4 users, that will be given to load balancer. So equally it will distribute one user to each server. Understood? In the same way, let us say 100, equally it will distribute in the 4 server. Okay, so maybe that is not an what the right good solution. Okay, when the number of users are in millions. Okay, so next we have other concept called application load balancer. It uses the concept of Docker engine and containerization. Kubernetes concepts will come here. Okay, so here what happens? In application load balancer. Okay, so we can divide the task, different tasks. Let us say, okay, so you want to visit one particular application. In particular application, so obviously, so the moment when you want to visit the particular application, who is it? Yeah, the moment when you want to visit on the particular application, so 2 things will come here. One is come CPU cycles, processing speed we required, and the application required. No? Yes or no? So now what happens? Okay, here let us say user is visiting your site. User is visiting your site. So that data will be transferred to load balancer. Load balancer, again, it will distribute, okay, based upon the types. Suppose if it is an application to run the application, we need the machine. Okay, so what he will does, the whatever the task which is related to execution will be migrated to the machine server. There will be separate machine server. Okay, that task will be migrated to machine server. Whatever the task which is related to application software, that will be migrated to the server which handles your application. Now what happens here is, in Kubernetes concepts will come. So what I will do, I will create a Docker engine here, separate Docker engine to handle our applications, a separate Docker engine to handle our CPU cycles. This is how we are distributing. So in the legacy systems, in the old systems, we was using this load balancer, classical load balancer, but later on we found that when the number of users are increasing, it is not giving the accurate result. Then later on, when Docker came, Docker engine containerization came. Okay, so again we divided this into application load balancer. Individual application will have one individual machine. Say website you have, okay, you have uploaded website using Apache server. Okay, Apache server will have one separate engine or containerization, Docker engine, and your website which is in the Apache server will have one separate Docker engine. Okay, so that comes in the application load balancing a system. Hope you are cleared. Let's dive into hands-on session. Next, let's continue again. Okay, so same thing I need to configure here now. Load balancer for my Ubuntu 2 as well Ubuntu 2 mirror image. Okay, so to load balancing, what we need to do is go to Ubuntu 2. Okay, Ubuntu 2, select this Ubuntu 2 mirror image. Next, go to, there is an option here called load balancer. Can you see intents? Intents?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go to load balancer. Hold on. Go to load balancer. Wait. Okay, go to load balancer. Can you see this is already one load balancer I have created for the Ubuntu one. Similarly, let's try to create one more load balancer for my Ubuntu 2 server. Okay, create load balancer. Here, can you see intents? As I told you, there are three types of load balancer, right? Intents. One is called application load balancer. One is called classic load balancer. Another is called a network load balancer. So suppose, let us say we want to distribute the networks, VPC networks, there you will be having public network, private network. Okay, so individual we can take within the companies or outside of the companies. Okay, so this is a new thing recently. I think they have designed it. Okay, I will not focus much on this, but as far as classic load balancer is concerned, no one is using nowadays, but still that option is available in Amazon. Most important, since after the invention of Docker engines, okay, so most of the companies are using or migrated towards application load balancer. So I'll go to application load balancer, create application load balancer. Okay, application load balancer. Here, give the application load balancer name. Let's say my application load balancer name be Ubuntu 2 hyphen app application load balancer. Okay, application load balancer. There are scheme here. Scheme, this is very important. Internet facing or internal facing. Okay, internet facing or internal. Internet facing is nothing but, okay, say you want to balance the load of your site from the data which is coming from the outside of the company. Okay, let's say public when the data is coming publicly, in that case we use internet facing. Okay, next, internal. Let us say it is also possible to create the IP addresses, okay, to share the data within the company itself. Okay, hope you are clear. Within the company, let us say I want to share the data from HR department to finance department, or some other XYZ department to ABC department. In that case, okay, so it is also possible to balance the load within the company. In that case, we will be choosing internal. Okay, so we can choose internal since we are working on websites now, so the data will be coming from the outside of the world. Okay, so load balancing is required, the data which is coming from the outside of the world. In that case, what I will do, I will choose internet facing. So next, I'll talk about listener later on. Okay, so listeners configuration we'll talk about later. Okay, so next, most important here is VPC. Since I told you we will be using default VPC, I'll keep the same default VPC. Availability zone, as I told you, 2 subnets were we required. So I have chosen, there also I have chosen 1A. Okay, 1A I have chosen. Similarly, I will choose 1B also. So 2 subnets I have already chosen. Next, add-on services. So I don't want this. Okay, so add-on services, let it be as it is. Accelerate the static IP addresses, improve the performance and availability of your application. No, I don't want that one. Configure security settings. Configure security settings. Just configure group. Okay, configure group. Here the most important here is, okay, security settings here. Don't use already existed security setting for auto scaling. Hold on. Yeah, don't use already existed a security setting for your auto scaling for the Ubuntu 2 server. What I will do, I will create a new security settings here, like a security group. Okay, so security group already I have created, and this is the load balancer wizard 2, which is the name of the security group, and this is the description. Most important here is, okay, it has mentioned TCP IP, no? So the access of the data, to access the data, I'm using TCP IP role here. Okay, along with the TCP IP, I need one more role to be added here called HTTP, since, okay, for the web services. So hit on web HTTP, click on HTTP, AT, instead of custom you take anywhere. Okay, so next IP addresses will remain same. Okay, configure it, configure this. Configure this. Okay, so under the configuration, okay, so next comes the target group, where we need to target this IP address. Okay, target our IP address. Obviously our target will be our EC2 instance. So next is, just give the name of the target. Okay, so create the new target group. Let's say my target group be Ubuntu. I'll discuss about this target group in listener. Ubuntu 2 hyphen target group. Target group. Okay, target group. So next is instances. My target type is instance here. You can have IP as well as the lambda. Protocol is HTTP. Port number is 80. Okay, and protocol HTTP path as default I have kept here. Register the target group. Okay, register the target group. No instances. Okay, so here register the target group. So keep as it is here. So I don't want to add to the register. Let me add this Ubuntu 2, which is running default, or else let it be keep as it is. This one, register target group, we'll configure later. Okay, review all the things. Next, create it. Yes, it's showing like authorized security group. Let me review this again. Review and resolve. Here, authorized security group, edit. This, we are facing some problem here. Click on edit. Okay. Click on edit. Here. Okay, TCP IP, let it be. Let me delete this. Let me delete this. Yeah, HTTP. There are 2 HTTPs here. So I need to delete one here. Delete one. configure it. Again configure. Again configure. Next is new target group is Ubuntu 2 target group instance HTTP. Next register target. Review it. So this is the review. Again create it. So now the target group got created. Hold on, target group got created now. Close it. Okay, so closes. Now what we did here in the load balancer, okay, just to avoid the confusion, what let me explain this. What we did here, let me go to EC2 instance. Okay, under EC2 instance, go to our instances. Hold on. Okay, let me go to EC2 instance. It's taking time. Interns, any doubt? Interns, speak interns, please. See what we did in the target group. Okay, so this Ubuntu 2 actual server and this, what we did, we brought these two servers together. Okay, together we tied these two servers together. Okay, now let us say, since Ubuntu 2 is having one IP address, Ubuntu 2 mirror is having another IP address. Now suppose let us say the user is visiting Ubuntu 2. Okay, so if the Ubuntu 2 is server is busy, so I need to redirect that user to Ubuntu 2 mirror copy. Understood? So for the migration purpose, we tied these two IP addresses, and next the load balancer will check whether the Ubuntu 2 server is available or Ubuntu 2 mirror server is available. So based upon that, the user will be migrated either to Ubuntu 2 or Ubuntu 2 mirror services. That we did in under the load balancing. Okay, under the target group here. Now next is again, okay, we can decide. Okay, there is an other option also. There we can decide whether it is a website. Okay, so let us say www.xerxez.in. So we can migrate the user to particular IP address. Okay, if it is, let us say www.xerxez.in/index.html. So if it is a path, specific path, again we can migrate to some other different server also. Okay, so that also we can do it. Now next what you have to do is go to auto scaling group. Okay, go to auto scaling group. Okay, go to auto scaling group. Auto scaling group. Here, hold on. Auto scaling group. Again, it's taking time. Yes, it's generated now. So right now I have two auto scaling. One is Ubuntu 1 and Ubuntu 2. Select Ubuntu 2 here. Select Ubuntu 2. Okay, after selecting Ubuntu 2, we need to configure our target group for this auto scaling. Okay, to configure the target group, click on edit. Again, I repeat instance, click on edit. Okay, so click on edit. Sorry, update. Let me update this. Hold on, not this edit. Okay, so what we need, you need to do is select that. Hold on. Select that auto scaling group. So for the timing, my auto scaling group is Ubuntu 2 auto scale. Click this, select this one, hit on this edit, not this edit, hit on this edit, click on edit, click on edit. Now here, okay, now here we need to configure the target group. So this is the launch configuration. So far this is the name of the launch configuration now. Security group is default, T2 micro instance type, EMD server I have used, date created, most important here. Subnet mask is this one. Okay, so just know what we created. Now the most important here is this one. Under load balancing, target group. Okay, there is an option called target group here. Okay, so here click on target group for your load balancer. So you will get two options: Ubuntu 1 target group, Ubuntu 2 target group. Okay, so since I'm going to redirect, I'm going to tie, okay, Ubuntu 2 actual server with the Ubuntu 2 mirror service. Okay, so that can be done using Ubuntu 2 target group. Okay, click on Ubuntu 2 target group. Now load balancer, which load balancer it is? So the load balancer is, hold on. Yeah, already load balancer we don't want, because you can select here if you are using classical load balancer. If it is an application load balancer, okay, we need not to apply for this one. 30-second means after every 5 minutes, it is going to check the health of our auto scaling load balancer. Okay, enable instance scale in production. No, I don't want that. Tag it, update it. Hold on. Tag it and update it. Update. Okay, tag update. Again, click on yeah, it's getting updated. It's getting updated. Hold on a second. Now almost auto scaling work is done, completed. Let me check whether I'm able to. Okay. Yeah, one more thing. After, yeah. So after this, one more thing we need to configure here, called the listener. Okay, again you go to load balancer. Okay, go to load balancer again. Load balancer. Go to load balancer. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Okay, so go to load balancer. Next, select the load balancer, Ubuntu 2. I will select Ubuntu 2 now. So after selecting Ubuntu 2, next go to listeners. Okay, hit on listeners. So here, okay, add listeners. I need to add listeners. Suppose, as I told you, we can redirect. Okay, for Apache server, I can create one separate machine. We can have the Docker engine. Okay, even for application, let us say index.html, I can redirect that one to the other machine. So to do that, okay, we will be using the listening concept here. Okay, click on this Ubuntu here. Can you see already I have created HTTP 80 port. Okay, select this. Okay, click on view and edit rules. Click on view and edit rules. Here, okay, so we can do that one using if else statement here. Okay, so to click on, after you will get this dashboard. Next you go to plus symbol, hit on plus symbol. Here I can insert the rules here. Insert rules. Okay, so it will ask now. Okay, so how to, which application you want to redirect. Okay, so here you can, if statement, let's say we will be getting plenty of option here: post, header, path, HTTP header, HTTP request method, query, strings, source IP. So next, now I want to have the path here. Let us say path. Okay, so path. Next, add the action. If it is a path, what action I need to have to perform? Forward to. Okay, so you give this forward to. Click on forward to. Okay, so wait. First you go to path. I have selected path now. My path will be, let us say, already this is the IP address, right? This is the IP address now. So select this IP address by copying. Next, go to EC2 instance. Hold on. EC2 instance, copy this. Let's say I have created one folder inside the Apache folder, Apache server, slash, what I will do, let's say XCR, XCZ. XCR, XCZ I have given. Now next, XCR, XCZ slash, doesn't matter which file it contains. So what I will do, star. Whatever the files comes under the folder called XCR, XCZ, under this IP address, all should be redirected to, okay, says Ubuntu to target group. All those should be executed by this target group. Hope you are clear. Understood? Participants, interns, hello?
Yes, sir.
Understood? Understood? No, you need to practice this. Then only you will understand. Okay, so here, what I have done, I have already server, no, 13.233, 160.132. Now what I have done, under that Apache server, I have created one folder called Xerxes. By default, so far I have not created that. Okay, and under that folder, whatever the file contains, all those files should be executed by this Ubuntu 2 target group. Okay, hope you are clear. Okay, so next is, similarly we can do for other things also. Let's say I have created one more target group which is having the other IP address. So I can redirect 13.233.160.133 slash Xerxes1 slash star asterisk. I can redirect to the other application machine. Okay, so or other Docker engines. Next is, everything is almost set now. Okay, save it. Save this. So you can keep on adding here. No new rule was created successfully. Okay, so next is, after that copy. Okay, so next is, go to again load balancer. Let me go to again load balancer. So let me select this. Hope my almost our work is completed now. I'm hoping for the best the result. Select this load balancer. Okay, so the moment menu, this is the load balancer now. Ubuntu 2 uploader balancer. Okay, just know what we created. Okay, so this is the domain. This is a link actually. This is the link where my both Ubuntu 2 and Ubuntu 2 mirror is configured. Okay, so now copy this, hoping for best, copied. Now next, after copying, just go to browser and paste it. Okay, go to browser and paste it. See both the IP address Ubuntu 2 and Ubuntu 2 mirror copies now redirecting to my this link. Hope you are cleared. Participants. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Sir.
Now both Ubuntu 2, this IP address, okay, this IP address, okay, both these two IP addresses now migrating to where? Apache 2. Okay, so this is target a group now. So now what happens if the user is visiting? If the user is visiting, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Now, yeah. Now see, if the user is visiting to your site Ubuntu 2, okay, Ubuntu 2, now the load balancer, what it will does, it will check whether the Ubuntu 2 is available or not. Okay, if it is busy, again, it will check the status of Ubuntu 2 mirror copy. Okay, so next, based upon the availability, the load balancer will redirect that user either to Ubuntu 2 server or Ubuntu 2 mirror copy using this link. Okay, this configured, I have configured both that two using the load balancer here. Okay, so doesn't matter whether it is an EC2 main server or EC2 mirror server, you are getting the same output here. Hope you are cleared. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask participants. Okay, so today I think this much is enough. Immediately, as soon as I will try to upload this video, even if I explain, okay, even for 1 more hour, uh, I don't think so that you will understand. I mean, you'll get most of the concepts. Okay, so I think you need to practice this. If you are practicing, then only you will understand, because there are many terminologies here, many modules we need to migrate. First, what I did, okay, I created Apache server. After creating the Apache server, next what I did, after creating the Apache server, I went to EMI instance. Okay, so after that, we went to load balancing, auto scaling properties. Okay, so next we went to load balancing. So after load balancing, we created a target group. Next, after creating the target group, we configured that target group to auto scaling. This is the fundamental, the basic stages of creating auto scaling in cloud computing a system. Okay, if you have any doubt, please ask. Okay, we'll wind up now.